I had a lot of fun in college. I accidentally smoked crack. That wasn't great. It can happen. It can happen on accident. Not everybody who smokes crack woke up that day scrounging around looking for crack. I was at a party. I was having a good time. A gentleman approached me. He was wearing a Looney Tunes shirt tucked into his jeans. That's what he was wearing. I'll never forget it. And he approached me and he asked me if I wanted to smoke. I'm not going to lie to a fella who's dressed business casual like that. I said yes. I'm a Christian. I'm not going to lie to him. I was like, yeah, I do want to smoke. So we went outside. He lit a joint. Everything looked normal. The joint looked normal. He lit it. He passed it to me immediately. And I took a puff. And the joint made a lot of noise. It was very loud. It's the loudest joint I've ever smoked in my life. Which was odd, because in my experience, marijuana is a very quiet drug. It doesn't make a lot of noise. So I asked a few questions. I was like, sir, what's going on with your joint? Is it full of firecrackers, or perhaps it's a Bluetooth speaker that you're passing around? But he said no. He said, don't worry. So I wasn't worried, but he said, don't worry. I sprinkled a little bit of my crack in there. That's what he said. He said that to me. He called it my crack, like it was his grandma's recipe. I really appreciated that. And a very sentimental edge to what was happening. And as he was saying this, he passed the joint of crack back to me, because we were the only ones in the crack circle. It was just me and him. Very intimate crack circle. So I didn't know what to do. I took another puff. I smoked that joint of crack a second time. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, I'll tell you why I did that. The only time in your life it's appropriate to smoke crack is after you've already smoked crack. That's it. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to smoke crack guilt-free. Also, you ever go to a restaurant, you order something, you get the wrong thing, and you eat it anyway? Exact same situation. I didn't order a joint of crack. I'm hungry. I'm going to eat it. Thank you. Also, who shares crack? We were in a recession. You're sharing crack in this economy? That's the most Christian thing I've ever heard in my life. That's what Jesus would do if he smoked crack. He'd be like, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the crack. That's how that would have gone. He would have been up in 2 days selling all the copper wiring he could get his hands on. I got in a fair amount of trouble. Does anyone know about Cedar Point? Is this something that people... Okay. That's a lot of... Cedar Point's great. For anyone who doesn't know about Cedar Point, it's the greatest amusement park in the world. They have the best roller coasters. It's right in Ohio. It's like 5 hours from here. Visit. If you're free, go to Cedar Point. You will ride the best roller coasters in the world. I am not legally allowed anywhere near Cedar Point. This is true. This is a true story. I am banned from... There's a picture of me in every single entrance of Cedar Point. I'm not allowed anywhere. I'll tell you what happened. When I was in college, I used to sell mushrooms because I'm Persian. I'm very mercantile. I'm a businessman. Dollars and cents, right? I used to sell mushrooms. I used to make a lot of money. One year, me and my fraternity brothers, we got a job at Cedar Point. And I was like, perfect. I'm going to bring a bunch of mushrooms with me. I'm going to sell them. I'm going to make a lot of money. I show up to Cedar Point with my mushrooms. I realize everyone there is a nerd. Everyone there is a dork. Which makes sense. You can't have a bunch of people on mushrooms running a roller coaster. This is a very important place. Got to have nerds running a roller coaster park, right? No one wanted my mushrooms. Not only do they not want them, they're going to call the police on me for having them. So I did what any businessman would do. I ate all the mushrooms. I had about 1.5 ounces of mushrooms, which is way too many. That's right. That's way too many for one person to eat. You said, holy shit, right away. That's a lot. That's too many. I had 1.5 ounces of mushrooms, and I did what any good, sensible American would do. I put on my uniform. I went to work immediately afterward. I was like, what's up, Cedar Point? What are we doing? Am I grilling hot dogs? Am I sweeping the floor? They were like, no, you got to operate one of these rides. And I don't know how I got promoted so fast, but I was like, fuck it, I'm down. Let's do this. And the ride I got was Millennium Force, which is the best ride at Cedar Point. And I was doing a great job because it was just 2 buttons. It was a green button and a red button. I was in a little booth, and people would sit on the cars, and I would hit the green button, and the ride would start, and then I would hit the red button, and the ride would stop. Everything was going swimmingly. You couldn't even tell I was high. I was very sweaty, but I'm fat, so no one noticed that. Eventually, a group of people got on the ride, and I could tell they weren't having very much fun at Cedar Point. You know when you're on mushrooms, you can read someone's energy? I was like, these people are not... They're arguing all day. It's not going great. So I did him a favor. When the ride ended, I hit the green button a couple times. So they went on the ride 4 or 5 times. I was trying to cheer them up. They never cheered up. They arguably got in a worse mood each ride. Eventually, Cedar Point security yanked me out of the chair. They threw me in the back offices of Cedar Point. I knew I was in trouble. I knew I was about to get fired. I was just sitting in a little management office. And you know when you're high and you're like, fuck it, let's get a little higher? Because you know what I saw on the desk? I saw a little can of keyboard duster. And I love inhalants. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of whippets. Those are naturally occurring drugs that Jesus put on earth for us to enjoy. So I did a couple whiffs. Unfortunately, it wasn't keyboard duster. It was WD-40. Which just tastes terrible and it makes you look like you sucked off the Terminator. It's a terrible situation. So there I am in the back offices of Cedar Point, covered in oil, rummaging through someone's desk. High as shit. At that very moment, someone from Cedar Point upper management, they opened the door, they took one look at the situation, they called the police. As they should have. That's the responsible thing to do. A couple minutes went by, the Ohio State Police Department showed up. It was pretty scary. I was keeping my cool. I will say I got a little nervous when I saw they had a canine with them. Not because they had a canine with them, just because the dog had a vest on with a bunch of pockets. That freaked me the fuck out. There's something about a dog and pockets. It's not going fishing. It's fine. Take the fucking vest off the dog. They put me in handcuffs. They're asking me a bunch of questions. They're like, tell us where the drugs are. We know you got drugs on you. And I told them the truth. I was like, officer, I did bring a lot of mushrooms with me to Cedar Point. I'm Persian, I'm mercantile. But no one wanted them, so I ate them all. I told that to the officer. And then I said this, I go, case closed. Like a lawyer. Like Atticus Finch, covered in oil, high as shit. Covered in oil, I said, case closed. The crazy thing is it worked. That was a Hail Mary. The police heard that. They took the handcuffs off. They took the vest off the dog. They were like, we're done. Cedar Point saw this, and they were like, what are you doing? He just admitted to bringing drugs into our park. And the police said the craziest thing I've ever heard. They were like, we're not going to arrest him, because here in America, which is a crazy thing for a cop to say, but they said, here in America, you can be as high as you want. You just can't have any drugs on you. I love America so much. God bless America. This is the best country in the world. They let you do that. You can be as high as you want. You just can't have any drugs on you.